We,
Sohnia
and Jaanuni, are a couple of pals studying science in undergrad. We are not professionals.
Though every episode is meticulously researched, mistakes do happen.
If you notice that anything,
And we mean anything,
we state is inaccurate, please let us know.
your comments, suggestions, and queries are important in furthering our personal and audience's understanding of science.
Thanks for being a part of this discussion.
We appreciate you.
We really do.
Bop, bop, beep, bop, bop.
I'm just trying to open my... Anyways.
Your what, sorry?
What?
What'd you say?
I was just trying to open up my lunch.
Oh, I heard that.
Welcome to another episode of Beaker Bros.
Oh, I already had my lunch, but I just have my jar, which could sub in. Oh, wait, clink.
Clink. Clink.
I don't want to actually hit the camera. Is that the Dalgona coffee?
Yeah,
thing?
that one.
Yeah.
I found my hand mixer thing, and I was like, oh my god, you know what I could do right now? Instead of buying coffee?
Make it yourself.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's sustainable. You know what else is sustainable, Sonia?
What a great transition. Tell me, what else is sustainable?
Fashion.
Is it though?
Well, here's the thing. Right now, no, but we should all be moving towards sustainable fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Before, we get into today's episode about sustainable fashion. What is sustainable fashion? Yeah, I think so the definition I kind of came across was that sustainable fashion refers to clothing that is designed, manufactured, distributed, and used in ways that are environmentally friendly. So it's like the whole process. It's not just how us as consumers are buying clothes, but how big companies are manufacturing clothes.
Like the entire supply chain.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Grabbing that first, bit of cotton to all the way up to the person wearing it.
Exactly. It's the whole industry as a whole. The whole industry as a whole. Well,
yeah. Well,
it's...
I have some comments about the supply chain part, but before we get into that, I think it's important to give some numbers about the industry's impact on the environment. So that being said, according to a UN article that on climate change, it says that the fashion industry accounts for about 10% of global carbon emissions and nearly 20% of waste water. And while the environmental impact, this is a fun fact. So while the environmental impact of flying is pretty well known now, fashion actually sucks up more energy than both the aviation and shipping industry, I guess, combined.
Wow.
That's a crap ton of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we also know the big term fast fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And what's kind of crazy, I actually didn't the first time I've heard of this term was last summer. Someone was telling me.
Really, that recently?
Yeah, it was I knew sustainable fashion, but I was fast fashion. Someone's like, yeah, I'm trying to avoid fast fashion. And I was like, what is that? You're not trying to buy clothes as fast as possible? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, you do you. And then I pretended obviously that I knew what the person was saying. I didn't. So I went and I started Googling it. I'm like, what is fast fashion? And fast fashion. But yeah, as basically it's fast, but it's in a sense that it's basically rapidly producing high volumes of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing my research for this, I came across how garment production utilizes trend replication and low quality materials in order to bring inexpensive styles to the public. So that basically means that $10 shirt you're buying, while that it's cheap and it's not the best quality, the again, the process you were saying, the whole industry, what it's its involvement is quite costly, not to costly to the environment, and also has effects on the labor workers who are producing the clothing too.
Yeah, the whole reason why it's just to elaborate on what you said, the whole reason why it's able to be produced so quickly is because in a lot of developing nations where these garment factories are in, there's very poor regard for worker rights, worker safety, And because of this lack of infrastructure to protect the workers and the environment, those countries are able to produce it so fast, so quickly. That's the same thing. So fast and so quickly are the same thing. But you get what, like, it's that fast. You can make the clothes that fast, and it can be shipped all over the world. So your $5 t-shirt from H&M.
It's bad. It's really bad. You were saying, like, again, like how countries where they're mass producing this, I think like this movement of sustainable fashion didn't really become as big as it is today until the collapse of the Rana Plaza in Bangladesh back in 2013.
If I'm not mistaken, from that collapse, well over 1,000 people had died,
and twice as many were injured.
Yeah, which is absolutely insane. Imagine, like, for starters, that Bangladeshi garment factory, it employs pretty much low-income workers. Not just low-income workers, a lot of them were children.
Yeah.
So not being able to work when you're already making less than $1 a day puts your your entire family at risk of starvation, and not to put a whatever, but like that whole incident not only killed the workers of the factory but a lot of their family members.
Yeah.
And those statistics often aren't included in like mortality or death counts, because like it's not directly like their deaths of family members who ended up like starving and not being able to like support themselves isn't necessary. Like they weren't necessarily killed in the collapse, but it was like the ramifications of it after.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Basically, like their sole provider had, passed away or whatever, and they didn't have any means to purchase food or whatever, or like have their basic necessities. So of course, as a result, they passed away as well.
And what's interesting, sorry, please
go ahead.
I was going to say what's interesting about that as well. So I remember watching, what's it called? The W5.
Okay.
Is it the W5 or was this on 60 Minutes? I think it was on an episode of 60 Minutes. For those of you who don't know, 60 Minutes is a 60-minute show that profiles like a certain incident around the world. So sometimes they'll do like a product analysis of something, or it'll talk about or it'll interview a president, or it'll do whatever. But they did one episode a little while ago, and I think it was like 2015, on the Rana Plaza collapse. And even though it's been almost a decade after that collapse, very few policies have been implemented by the government in order to protect like future disasters like that happening to garment factory employees.
Yeah.
Like it's still a really big issue. Obviously, it's received a little bit more highlight in the world because of how big the issue was back in the day. But I'm rambling now. But
no, it's fine. It's good. This is the whole point of the podcast. I was gonna say, with the Rana Plaza, I feel like what's important to note is that people be like, okay, yeah, that happened in Bangladesh. Why does it relate to us? Okay, yeah, we buy clothes there. Like, how does it relate to the lives of us Western individuals, right? What's important to note that there's actually like big companies that you probably know that were associated with the factory. There's Joe Fresh.
Yep.
Walmart, JCPenney, and the Children's Place. I'm just naming the ones that I know. There's one named Mango. I don't know what Mango is.
Mango's like a popular European brand.
Okay.
Wasn't H&M also involved with it as well?
This is just like a few. I'm not quite sure, but I would not be surprised, to be honest.
Just seeing other companies that were also involved. So Abercrombie and Finch, Zara, American Eagle Outfitters, and H&M as well.
Yeah.
Like going back to the thing that you were saying about the building code, like one of the reasons, like in developing nations like Bangladesh, and other countries in that region of Asia and around the world as well, one of the main reasons why these incidences happen so prominently there and they're able to produce clothing so cheaply there is because of the lack of building codes. And over the past like 10 years, there's been a lot of organizations that have been trying to push the government towards reestablishing those building codes in order to like protect the rights of the workers, create better infrastructure, all that kind of stuff. But when you do that, it deters companies from coming to invest and build in that country, because then you can just go to another country and build it for cheaper somewhere else, and you can get workers for cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you get trapped in this cycle where like you know what the problem is, you know how to fix it, but you can't necessarily do it because of like economic and financial reasons.
Mm-hmm. I think on a more like personal like aspect, like once I was aware of sustainable fashion and ways that I could have take part in the movement, like I was definitely more aware. But there's like cases there's a lot of like I've seen TikToks or whatever, people like doing hauls or whatever from like Zara and H&M and everything and other like really cheap stores, and people are always commenting like, oh, like that's not sustainable, blah blah blah. And one of the biggest issues that sustainable fashion is the fact of like they can't really afford that $40 shirt or something, or they can't like $80 pants or something, which is totally reasonable. But then I saw something else where someone said, okay, think about it. You're spending what, $5 on that one shirt that you might have to replace that over the couple of years, that would add up to that $40 shirt that you could invest in that could last you 5 or so years.
And I think no, that's totally fair. Yeah, like on one, like it's a balance. Like you also have to consider, like, are you able to put that much money up front from the beginning?
That's
right?
Also the issue. Yeah. But I don't know. It's like even like I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of me personally. Like I am guilty of fast fashion. Like like H&M is like my go-to store, but like it's so bad. It's just bad. Like when you think of, there's like a demand for it too, right? Like if like even if one individual was to decide, okay, yeah, I can personally go buy the $40 shirt, which is sustainable, versus 10 other people who are buying the $5 shirts, right? Like it's not going to make that much big of an impact. But I think what's really important with this like sustainable fashion movement is that a lot of individuals they are aware of it, which is now, I guess, forcing companies to, like, big name companies or brand name companies to look for more sustainable methods.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. But
what about you, Sohnia? How do you try to be sustainable with fashion?
Well, how do I try to be sustainable? Well, for the most part, a lot of the stuff I do get is thrifted. I'm not going to try to like say that I'm the most, sustainable fashion person. I don't know what the correct term is here.
No, I definitely try to like thrift more.
Yeah.
And okay, what's amazing about it though, it's like you're not gonna like thrifting might have this whole idea of like low quality clothes. Like, no, you can find some like I've gotten Lululemon leggings and like Aritzia pants before for like $5, $10. And the whole idea is that clothing is being reused and recycled in a way that it doesn't again get like gathered
into landfills.
Sorry?
I was gonna say it doesn't get put into landfills. It gets circulated, it's recycled.
Exactly.
I'm just looking at one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and one of the goals that they're working towards is ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. So this is a goal that the UN has recognized, but whether or not it's being achieved or worked towards right now is sort of up in the air. Like, don't get me wrong, there have been vast improvements since like even 20 years ago or 10 years ago. But I don't know, it's that question, like, it seems based on our conversation here today, we recognize there's a problem.
Yeah.
We recognize solutions. It's a matter of now like acting upon it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the industry does definitely have the potential to be sustainable by converting to different avenues of production. Yeah, I think any improvement is better than none.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, in terms of the extent of the improvements that can be made and working, I guess like the ultimate goal would be to be zero emissions, zero waste, zero XYZ. And based on like the research that we've done about the industry, certain key players right now that are pushing towards this avenue of production and marketing and all that kind of stuff, it does, like, hey, I have hope. The kids of the day, we're a smart bunch of kiddos.
But yeah, I guess the best way to end this off is just like suggesting, I was gonna say, I found if you guys were wondering about like what's some sustainable brands, let me pull it up. I was looking for it. Okay, there's this one that I keep seeing called Cotton. Like it's KOTN.
Never heard of it.
Well, it's like apparently has some really good like basics if you're into it. It's made from breathable Egyptian cotton. Interesting. There's also this another brand called Pact.
PAT? Pat?
Pact.
Pact?
Yes. There's this other one called Booty. It's with a T. It's not with a T. It's with a D.
Booty.
Booty.
Okay.
Yes. There's one called Happy Earth, which seems very fun.
That's cute. That's good marketing.
Right? Happy Earth is built around protecting the planet.
That's good.
Yeah. It sources organic materials, uses recycled and recyclable packaging. There's this one called Ten Tree. I feel like I've seen it before. There's Able, Ref Jeans, Girlfriend Collective. I've actually seen that brand. I think they have some nice jeans. So, hey there, girlfriends. Check out Girl Collective.
Yeah. You know, jeans are some of the biggest contributors to environmental degradation caused by the fashion industry. The dyes are very toxic.
Wow.
The cotton isn't, or the material for the pants aren't often very sustainably sourced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if they're doing a good job, all the power to them.
We love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if other ways. Okay, so other ways to support sustainable fashion. Of course, like we mentioned, thrifting or secondhand clothing. It's really fun. I think thrifting is like it's a fun time, to be honest. Like if you have the opportunity to, go ahead, guys, go thrifting.
And there's something about thrifting, like especially if you get like a nice t-shirt, oftentimes it's so much softer than like a new bought t-shirt. Like it's worn in a little bit. That might sound gross, but whatever. But no, it's very nice. It's soft. The material is often good. It's clean. You're saving the planet. You get good shirts.
You can find some like new things too when you go thrifting. Like the number of times I see things with tags on, I'm like,
that okay. You didn't wear them. You just bought it and left it.
Like, don't mind if I get it for $5 to $10.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like prolonging the life of your clothes by taking care of them. So, how do you take care of your clothes? Don't use the air dryer clothes.
Mm-hmm. That saves energy. That's another, yeah.
That's all the ideas I got. Any ideas, Sonia?
I think they're all very valid. I think you touched upon a lot of the main ones.
Well, stay sustainable, friends.
Yeah, during these unprecedented times. Anyways. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, people should listen to our podcast and just like take a shot every single time we say unprecedented.
These unprecedented times.
How many times?
I edit that out quite often because we say it too much as a joke, but it doesn't work sometimes. You get the point.
Yeah.
Anyways, I believe take a shot anytime we say anyways. I think that's another good one.
Or like.
Uh-huh. I don't think we said and like that many times this time.
We'll see.
I'll keep a little counter as I edit this episode.
Well, thank you guys for staying till the end.
Mm-hmm.
As usual, we'll see you next time.
Yep, we've got some cool stuff coming up, so stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah. Ooh. Peace. You guys can't see me, but I'm